Well, the NFL lockout drags on this morning, almost 4 months after it began. And with training camp scheduled to open in just 4 days, time is running out on reaching an agreement. Nearly 4 months after NFL owners locked out players, contract negotiations are said to be close on some major issues, including revenue sharing, but have now bogged down over wages for rookie players.
The owners want to make sure that these high draft picks get paid. The players want them to get as much as they can. The owners say give them the money, but after they've earned it.
The labor dispute began on March 11th when the players dissolved their union and sued the league. The owners responded by imposing a lockout. Without access to facilities, players' conditioning has been unstructured and unsupervised by team doctors and coaches.
I have to be ready physically and mentally to get ready for the season if we do start on time. So for myself, I'll just keep training and acting accordingly as if we're going to have a season.
Later today, lawyers for both sides will meet in New York to continue negotiations with the expectation that a deal can be reached by July 15th before teams open their training camps.
Some estimate that for every preseason week lost, it's over $200 million. It's not just the teams and the owners. It's the communities, the stadiums, and the jobs in those cities as well.
But in a league where revenues are expected to top $15 billion in the next 5 years, players still feel they're being shortchanged by not being offered an equal share in team revenues.
We still have work to do. We're going to continue to work hard to make sure that a deal's fair.
I think being patient throughout this has been important. That's what I've tried to do. The lockout hasn't been good for anybody.
And joining us now from Dallas is former Dallas Cowboy and NFL Hall of Fame wide receiver Michael Irvin. Michael, good morning.
Chris, good morning.
So you talk to players all the time. Are we close to getting a deal done?
Well, it depends on who you're asking right now. You know, a lot of the veterans that have been around a while and been around the owners and know how things are working, they're saying, I'm anxious, but let's wait and see. And a lot of the young guys who haven't made a whole lot of money right now, so they haven't had a chance to stack their stacks, boy, they're anxiously waiting, saying, oh, this is good news, and they're looking forward to getting back because of the situation.
Well, it sounds more and more like they are close. At least the conversations are civil, where at the beginning they weren't. I think the average fan is probably sitting back saying, okay, we're talking about splitting up over $9 billion here. So this is not like the debt ceiling where there is debt. There's a lot of surplus here. Why can't a deal get done? Can people expect there to be a full NFL season? Because I think that's what the fans want to know the most.
Yeah, and I think the NFL and the players both want that, and they're working real well towards that now. I love the other day after the judge ruled that the lockout stayed intact, that everybody came together, put a joint statement out, the owners with the players, and saying we will continue along this course because that is the best course to get things done. And the judges and the courts have all pushed both sides to get that done.
This deadline this week of July 15, it's kind of a soft deadline, but teams need to get together. There needs to be some training camp because that first preseason game is the first week of August. Is this really kind of the drop-dead date for a legitimate preseason for NFL teams? Do they need to have it done this week?
Listen, Chris, when you're dealing with the guys that we're dealing with, the egos that they have, and I say that in a good way because their egos have made them the great players and some of the wealthiest owners in the world. So you say it with that. Absolutely. Absolutely. These guys have to work together, and you better believe they understand deadlines are very important when you're dealing with these types of men. So I'm expected, yes, we're hoping to get something done, hopefully here pretty soon.
And real quickly, what can fans expect as far as the brand of football? Teams and players have not been together all offseason. There's been no mini camps, no workouts. Coaches and players can't even talk to one another. So now that it's going to be truncated and you're going to have free agency literally take place in about a week, what kind of football can we actually expect?
Well, we won't have the brand of football, the caliber that we've had at the beginning of the season, because the reality is, as players prepare for a season, they go through nicks and bruises and all of those things. So now those things that go on preseason and before preseason starts will be happening during the season as you turn into football shape. We hear people all the time talk about teams are getting together individually. There's no way you can bring on the kind of intensity that you get in a preseason game and a regular season game in practice without pads. So, yeah, there'll be some slow time early on in the season.
All right, Michael Irvin, good to talk with you. Thanks so much. We do appreciate it.
Chris, thank you, buddy. We appreciate it.